That's Jozef Dobos, 3D Repo.
Good evening, everyone. Now, the interesting part is when I told Neil I'm going without slides, I'm going to demo, he asked me, is it going to work? So we shall see. Nick mentioned data interoperability, and that reminded me of Cormac McCrann at Canary Wharf Limited, who once said that interoperability is ideas having sex. So it's a good quote. And the other interesting thing that David mentioned at the very beginning was relational databases and how you want to put all the data together. And I'm going to challenge that right away. Okay, so let me show you what we've got here. Here is our desktop application. For those of you who don't know what we do, we have a database in the cloud, but it's not a relational database, it's a NoSQL database, it's schemaless. So we genuinely disagree with the idea of having standardization and you have to have cookie cutters and you put data in specific classifications and so on. What you want is really the ability to actually go and manage data properly. So what you do, once again, I connect, I can select the database. In this case, I've got the local demo. And you select a company you belong to, let's say Arup, and you want to see your project. So let's see what we get. I'm running database locally. So here it is. It's actually loading data. And this is King's Cross. And the reason why I picked this particular project is because you can see King's Cross out of the window. Here it is. So what we do is we take all the data that is stored in the database, reconstruct it on the fly, and visualize the model. And you've got the full fidelity. Just to let you know, I don't have a graphics card in this thing, right? I can run massive models on low-end devices, even on your mobile phone. And people sometimes ask us, so can you also do point clouds? Well, let me tell you something. Each 3D model is a point cloud. It's points connected with triangles to generate a 3D model. So that's what you get. Let me try if I can actually fly in. Yay, this doesn't work. Let's increase the speed. It should do. And you can really go into the details. So what we have is a version control system. So each time you create a change in your specific model, there you go. West and Concourse, you can see all the detail. Each time you create a change in a model, you can upload it to the database. We work out what has changed, and we can easily visualize it in a cloud, in any kind of viewer. And this helps the collaboration. So if I show you what is actually stored in the database, I said it's not relational. So here it is. It's literally key value pairs. For those of you who are familiar with Revit and other similar tools, you would have properties. And properties would literally be what is the key, and you have some value. So let's say I have a bunch of meshes, and mesh consists of XYZ coordinates, some faces, normals, and other information. But in the same database, in the same collection, I can also have materials. So let's say I specify shininess or specular highlights. In this case, there are none. So let's have a look, diffuse color, RGB values. And you can just keep adding to the same database any kind of key value pairs you want. There is no prescribed format. And this enables you to really manage your data in the way you need on your project. Now, this is just one viewer talking to a database. So if I now start a web server, which is actually running already, there you go, yep. And I can log into the same database online. Now, I can't talk and do things at the same time, so bear with me, I'm only a man. So this is our web-based platform. You don't have to install anything. It just runs in the browser. And let's say I log in as myself. I can remember my password. And I can have a look at the same project. So this King's Cross run in the browser. I don't have a graphics card. Can change my visualization mode, my navigation to helicopter. You can fly around, still loading. Trust me, it's coming. It's just very slow. So what you are experiencing now is basically the data being loaded from the database in memory is already there, but it takes a while to actually populate on the GPU. In our case, it's the video memory of the Intel chip. And Greg Schuster from HOK told me many people can spin 3D models online, so what can you do next? So let's have a look what else can we do. For example, Newfoundland mockup flat from Canary Wharf. Let's say I want to enrich the model and I want to attach additional information to it. Here is a simple mockup, but you get the idea. It's coming from the same database, so you don't have missing links to external files anymore. You can store metadata, you can store PDFs, you can store anything you want together with the geometry, all sitting in the same database. And let me show you a real project we worked on with Canary Wharf contractors. Is Richard around? I haven't seen him. So we've just finished a 6-month pilot with them. They are building a new phase with Wharf development. Let me just reload this. They are building, I believe, 12 buildings in Canary Wharf, 3,500 residential flats. Their basement alone is one of the largest models we ever loaded, 650,000 components and counting. As if it wasn't enough, they added Jubilee line tunnels. So here it is, the B3 building, which was worked on by Grondmeyer, Elias Morrison, and Thornton Tomasetti. And what they would do is they would do design coordination every week. So they would take all of the data, the structural, MEP, and steel structure and architecture models. And they would have to then examine these models for problems. So yeah, we've got the full model here, fully federated. What you can do now is you can attach comments and you can actually have live discussion. And you can save it. And you can assign different roles. So depending on who is meant to respond, the colors will change, and we set up 16 different roles, including fire consultants and others. And you can very easily manage the design coordination. Before, people would have to write comments on paper, then someone has to go from the design meeting and write in the computer. Now you can have live minutes directly during the meeting. Other things we can do is we can scan QR codes. I actually don't have a demo, but yeah, you can imagine what it looks like. We can do clipping planes, so we can cut through the model as much as you like. So you can really do all this stuff in a web browser without needing any plugins. Now, Volker kind of liked this, but he told us it doesn't look as pretty as other stuff. So what we've also done, let me just close this. We also done a Unity-based visualization. As you know, many of you might know, Unity is quite popular because it does pretty good visualizations for clients and those kind of engagement purposes. Now, if I remember how to log in. So the Unity is just another client connecting to the same database. There you go. I can just show you what it looks like. So you would type in your server address, your username, your password, and you get access to all your available projects, same as you would on the web. So I can select things cross, and once again, it will load all the data dynamically over the internet and visualize it in Unity. You get lovely shadows, you can do walkthroughs. The beauty of this system is that you only need to set up your Unity application once. You can set up all your lighting, environmental settings, and so on, and you can then hot swap the models.